I'm in a DS3 Crossback E-Tense, and I don't think it's very good. First of all, I'll give you a little guided tour then. So, no, I don't think it looks too bad. My wife is not a fan at all of the looks of it, but I think it's all right. In fact, this is arguably its best view. There's a bit of a theme going on, and the theme is diamonds. Diamonds literally are forever with this car. You've got these kind of diamondy lights here, and you know, I think it looks all right from the front. The first thing you'll notice from the side is this funky crease that goes here. It's a bit of a Nike swish, I suppose. And the other thing you'll notice is this interesting bit of design here. You get design which is good and design which is pointless, and then you've got design which is pointless and dangerous. And that's what that is. Ridiculous. I suppose it looks cool, but it's ridiculous. The back has quite a curvy look. Got a tiny bit of spoiler there. You've got these fake air vents. They drive me crazy. I just don't see the point in that kind of thing. But anyway, I think it looks quite nice and curvy. You know, it's all right. It's fine. To be honest, I think the best thing about this car might be its look from the outside, because it all falls apart once you get inside. Where's the boot release? Where's the boot release? All the way down there. Great design. So here's the boot. Now I don't know what came with Onto. This was a new car delivered from Onto, literally brand new. So I don't know what comes with Onto and what comes with the car as standard, but I think you probably get that as standard. You certainly get the Type 2 charging cable as standard, which you can put in the box there. And this is a 3-pin granny cable. We call it a granny cable, but it's just a 3-pin trickle charger for your normal socket at home. I don't think you get this with it, but I might be wrong. And I'll correct myself on screen if I am. But Onto did at least include it, so that's good. No idea what that is, but it came with it. If you have any idea at all, please let me know. Right, one thing that makes this not very usable is the fact that there's a hell of a lip on here. So you've got about a 16 centimetre drop from here. It would be really nice, wouldn't it, if it was flat, but it's not. So that's something to be aware of. It's about 66 centimetres that way. 100 centimetres across, and the depth up to the parcel shelf is, where should we go, about there? Let's say about 50 centimetres up to the parcel shelf. Now I'll take the seats down, and as you can see there's a little bit of a, yeah, what's that? Oh, 11 centimetres. There's 11 centimetres dip there, but if we go, let's say, to my driving position, you've got 136 centimetres, I would say. You'd probably get a little bit of IKEA furniture in there, but not a massive amount. The boot volume is 350 litres with the seats up, 1050 litres with the seats down. I'll put on screen another couple of cars that you could probably get around the same price that give you more space. It would help if this car was EV only to begin with, to be honest, because then they could maximise the amount of space in the car. My legs aren't particularly well supported, but it's not too bad. I mean, if you have quite short legs, I suppose it's okay in the back, but if anyone has long legs in the front, then you're screwed really. You'll notice it's quite a dark experience to be a passenger in the back of this car, and at the moment I'm sitting in the middle. Yeah, the seat pockets, tiny little thing there, small door bin, and you do have these little lights here and the thingy to hold on if the driver is driving too quick. You've got this squidgy, that scratchy plastic, you've got this kind of squidgy stuff here, and then there as well. And the seats themselves, got to be honest, the seats are, I would say, pretty comfortable. And they've also got a zip. Don't know whether, do many cars have this? I'm not sure, but perhaps for cleaning, that's quite good, I suppose. The window only goes down to here in the back. So not only do you feel like you're going to die of claustrophobia, you have this stupid thing here that takes up all your space, and it's just used for a speaker. But really the speaker could be anywhere, let's face it. So that takes up your room. You've obviously got no sunroof. You've got this tiny bit of glass. That bit doesn't even go down, and it's extremely unpleasant in the back here, I would say. Plus the fact that it feels quite a small car. So yeah, the room in the back is not great. I want to get out. I want to get out. Okay, let's go in the front. I would say the front is quite comfortable, really. It's got a fairly nice steering wheel, although yeah, it's not perfectly round, so it doesn't really feed through your hands very nicely when you're turning corners and things, but that's me being picky. You've got squidgy plastic most of the way here. Scratchy. But overall, I mean, the seats, I would say the seats are one of the best bits about it. I just find it quite comfortable. I think it's quite nice. What is a bit rubbish for a £31,500 car, premium, this is a premium car, remember DS is Citroen's premium brand, to adjust the seat, it's all a bit old school. You know, I don't care too much, I suppose, but when you're paying that kind of money, you know, I would like seat adjustments. Give me some lumbar support, but instead this kind of pumps up, and it does go quite high, but your visibility is so bad in this car that you don't really want to be that high. The steering wheel is quite adjustable, in and out, up and down. Drive mode is eco, normal or sport, but it doesn't cycle through, so yes, you do have to keep going dit 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 and then but, which is stupid. You can't just keep doing that. And then you've got window controls, stopping the window controls, and you've got your gear selector there, and you see it says DB, where if you go into D and then you go into B, that puts regenerative braking on, so that means you harvest more energy when you're going downhill or you're slowing down or whatever. Looking at the steering wheel, that's your Siri button or whatever the Google equivalent is, I forget. This thing cycles through the menus, and it is extremely slow. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing how slow that is. If you want to access your contacts and things like that, and then you've got list and source. If you want to do your music, and then you can cycle through your music tracks like that. And then down here, you've got your cruise control. Down here, your stuff for mirrors and turning parking sensors off and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure what that button there is. I don't know. There is a HUD on this, and I can't work out how to enable it. Hey, the HUD. There it is. There's a HUD. I've got the HUD to appear. So the HUD's really good, actually. All cars should have HUDs. Certainly the Model 3. Show you here the vanity mirror there with lights. It's just kind of nice. But the biggest issue with this is the visibility is awful. That is all you get there. So this gets in the way. This is too tall. This gets in the way. And the windscreen just doesn't feel big enough. It feels, again, very oppressive in here, and just no good. No good. I don't think it's a very good driving position at all. In fact, the driving position's fine, sorry, it's not a good interior. And it's going to be difficult to see on this wide angle lens just how bad it is, but just get in the car and see for yourself. One USB there, another there, and then you've got your auxiliary 12-volt E thing, whatever that is. Cigarette lighter, I think they used to call it, didn't they? And then down there, it's quite capacious, look. You could put a whole load of stuff in there. And I think that's probably it. Look at all these diamonds everywhere. So crass, I think, and unclear. What else should we talk about? The screen? Should we talk about the screen? I'd rather not. I don't think it's very good. music, climate control, navigation, electric car charging stuff, I suppose, car, phone, and like the main screen on the app, the app screen, sorry. Down here you have an on and off switch for the infotainment, volume buttons, recirculating of air, and all the usual kind of stuff, you know, that you would expect. So let's just talk about the screen here. So firstly, they do have an app. There is a DS app, which I can't show you because I didn't get it connected. You have Android Auto and CarPlay, so let me just plug in my phone there, and then CarPlay will hopefully do stuff. There we go, there's CarPlay. So click that. Now you would think that it would take up the whole of the display, you know, go full widescreen, but it doesn't. You just get the center bit. These bits on the side, you can see that, well, I guess that's probably telling you what the temperature is now, and that's, click that, and then you can go straight to your climate control settings. Oh, what did I do? There we go. So let's make it a bit cooler because I'm sweltering in here. Okay, so there you go. So you got CarPlay and all the usual kind of Android Auto CarPlay stuff. So that's all nice. What did I click? Okay, top left. I clicked the top left. You got connection service, Wi-Fi. That's one of the cool things. Actually, this does give you a Wi-Fi hotspot in the car, so that's quite nice. Which I haven't activated, but I believe you can do it. Connection service, empty list subscription. Okay, all right. I'm not going to go through all that because frankly, I don't know what it all does. Let's click on the cogs there for some settings. Audio settings. The speakers, I said, are quite good in here, I think. It's yeah, not bad at all, really. You do have different profiles as well, which is quite a nice touch. So, there's a bit of French there. Okay. So that's gone French. Oh no, it's gone French. Oh no, it's gone French. How do I get it back to English? No. No. Deactivate profile. Okay, good. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm not going to do that again, am I? Okay, so yeah. So if you go to settings, you'll see that actually there's not much in the way of settings in that cog. I don't see the point of that. I don't get that. Anyway, so if I go to music and you go to sources, then you've got radio, Bluetooth, USB, or CarPlay or Android Auto, and different options there for managing photos. I don't know why you want photos on here, but anyway, you can. And there's a few settings there, so that's fine. Okay, let's go to climate control. It's all pretty clear there, really. No point dwelling on that too much. Navigation, let's click on navigation. Okay. Let's go to Edinburgh. It's going to calculate it. Takes a while, but then I don't have a very good signal here, and I'm assuming this is doing it using 3G or 4G or something. Okay, so there we go. So it tells me I'll get there at 23:38. It's 456 miles, and it's not actually going to show me where I've got to charge. Well, I don't think it is. I don't know, stations. No, it doesn't look like it's going to tell me, is it? If I can work out as a consult map. Oh, that's got a charging station button. There we go. It's got a charging station button, but it's not actually showing. Okay, no, this is showing it for you. Okay, all right. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Okay. Okay, routes, waypoints. It looks like it's telling me I've got to charge there, but I don't have to charge there because I've got 100 miles there. In fact, it's just telling me every single charge point along the way. Anyway, stop navigation. Okay, so that's navigation. If I click on the charge menu here, this tells you the flow of energy. So when you're driving, I've always thought that's kind of pointless, but it kind of tells you what's going from the battery to the, the motor. Statistics. It's saying I've got 100 miles per kilowatt hour. I mean, it's incorrect, isn't it? I can't do 100 miles per kilowatt hour. This is a 50 kilowatt hour battery. That would be quite impressive if it did that. You can see that they haven't optimized this for EVs yet. That's got 120 miles per kilowatt hour at the top. and 0 at the bottom there. So the scale is completely wrong. I don't even understand that, but it's useless. It's useless, whatever that is. Okay. Charge. Here's a fun thing. Here's a fun thing for you. You can activate this charging start time. So I've got it midnight. That's when my cheap energy rate kicks in. But you can't tell it an off time. So it will just charge to 100%, however long that's going to take, which makes it pretty pointless. So you've got deferred charging time. Great. Deferred end time, get an end time on there? No. No end time for you. And you can't set a charge limit. So it charges to 100% each time. So that's just stupid. And I know the i3 doesn't have a charge limit either, but at least you can set an end time in the i3, BMW i3. So useless, rubbish, and frankly it just feels like an add-on, like everything EV in this car. It just feels like they haven't thought about it. Okay, so if I click car, traction control, parking sensors, all that kind of stuff, you can turn on and off. Headlights, comfort, safety, parking, let's go to headlights. Guide me home lighting, adaptive lighting. It's got a few options on here. Safety, blind spot monitoring, God knows it needs it with that stupid thing getting in the way on the side. All right, okay, so that's fine. And then there we go. You can select your phone. In fact, that just goes straight to your CarPlay if you've got it plugged in. So that's your infotainment system. It doesn't seem like there's enough on there really. It seems a bit basic, and certainly I need more EV stuff. That's what I need. So turning the car on involves foot on the brake and then hold down on that. It doesn't tell you the battery percentage, which is useless. It tells you a rough estimate. It looks like I've got 60, about 60, but that's all it'll tell me. It just tells me I've got 99 miles at the moment on the GOM, on the range meter, but it doesn't tell me anything else. So useless, absolutely useless. My Leaf tells me the battery percentage, and the Leaf is 6 years old. If you have to rely on apps, then you have to enter in what your battery percentage is to work out whether you can make a trip or not. But it's just something that every electric car should have. And there's no excuse, because it's so easy to add it. It knows what the percentage is, because it'll tell me. If I plug in the car, it'll tell me. That's the stupid thing. So it knows what it is, but they haven't designed this to be an electric car. They've designed it to be a normal car, and they've, because of market pressures, they have to make an electric one, and it's not good. They've fudged it, I think. So anyway, makes me very angry. So yeah, let's just go for a little drive then. Something it does have is it's got creep by default. Perhaps you can turn it off and put on auto hold, but trying to work out anything in this car is difficult. So you've got different drive modes. I'm in sport at the moment. You've also got normal, or you've got eco. So eco actually is fine most of the time. The difference between each mode is that you just get more throttle response, of course, on sport. Feels a bit more nimble. Normal feels more normal, I suppose, as you would expect. In terms of the way it drives, it's fine actually. It's quite nice, I think. I've driven a 2008 Peugeot E2008, and it's pretty much the same car underneath. It might be exactly the same car underneath. I'm not definite. I think it is though. And that felt better actually, but that may just be because I'm biased and I prefer the look of the Peugeot both inside and out. But that was not very objective of me, is it? But it drives fine. I mean, it's comfortable. The seats I would say the seats are really comfortable. Probably my favourite thing in this car actually is the seats. Just going from like 50 to 60 just then, you don't really. It's not a very fast car. But then you're not really buying it probably to be a fast car, are you? You just want it to drive the family around in style. But of course, style is the problem with this car, because DS would say it's stylish. Some reviews might even say it's stylish, but I really don't think it is stylish. I think it's pretending to be, but it certainly doesn't do it for me. Out of my peripheral vision here, okay, so if I'm driving along and let's say I want to turn on the music, I I know it's roughly around here. Yeah, okay, so it's the button on the far left, but of course it's not a button, it's just touch sensitive. It's a touch sensitive pad, I suppose. Everything is triangular shaped, so the music button looks exactly the same as climate control, which looks the same as navigation and car, phone and menu button, whatever this is. The hazard button, it all looks exactly the same. There's no variation. And in fact all the buttons underneath are just, these ones at the top are piano black gloss, and then these ones down here, still triangles, and they are, again, touch sensitive, pointless buttons. And I have a real problem with that, because I just feel like you do get a bit of muscle memory when you're driving a car, and you know where to go with the buttons, but I like some tactile feedback. I like to press a button and it feel like a button. Not like this, where you kind of press a button and it's touch sensitive, and you don't know, you don't have any feedback, so you don't know if it's worked or not. But I'm well aware with things like this that it could just be me having a problem with it, and your mileage may vary. You may think it's absolutely fine. The brakes. I know my wife likes this as well. I say likes as she hates it. Yeah, the brakes really are quite powerful. You do have to get used to that. And again, that was the same on my friend's 2008. For her, she was like, she was quite embarrassed, in fact. It was like emergency braking when she first tried it. Visibility is one of the worst things in this car. You just don't have very much at all. You look out that, your blind spot there is covered up by this bit of plastic that is obviously supposed to be classy, but it's just not. The windscreen is such a small aperture, because you've got this screen here, and you've got the reverse mirror. I can't even think what it's called, this thing up here. What is it? Mind is completely blank. Anyway, so you got that there. So you've got a small opening in the middle of the windscreen to see anything. It's not good at all. And this feels down, and I'm seated quite high, because it is that kind of crossover SUV feel. But it feels very oppressive in here, I think. I don't think it's a very pleasant car to drive, really, in that respect. I mean, it feels fine on the road and everything, but really just the visibility, I think, is terrible. I've never had this kind of bad reaction to an electric car before. I thought all EVs are good, but I forget that an EV is just a different powertrain in a normal car, and the problem with this car is the car itself, really. But it's compounded by the fact that they just haven't thought about it being an electric car. They haven't thought about this car enough, I think, in any way. So the design falls flat. The electric car bit of it is rubbish. It's it's deeply unimpressive, I think. And what makes matters worse is that it's an expensive car. So for £31,500 is the base model for this car. The one I'm driving, I think, is more than that, actually. But it doesn't feel like a £31,500 car, and I know all electric cars cost a bit more. But you don't even have the range. I mean, the Kia e-Niro was, when I bought it, was about 34,000 when I first got it. And I thought, well, that is a lot, isn't it, for a car? Because it is a lot. But at least you got the range. But this, you don't even have that. So 200 miles, and obviously you'd be lucky to get about 200 miles in this, because it's nowhere near as efficient as an e-Niro or Hyundai or Tesla. That said, in my experience, the efficiency hasn't been too bad. I haven't really felt like this car is depleting the battery that much. Yeah, I can't see what's up this road because there's stupid thing in the way and this stupid small windscreen. So let's talk about stats. You've got a 50 kilowatt hour battery, I think about 47.5 probably, I'm guessing at this actually, but 47.5 is usable, I think. It charges at 100 kilowatts. That means you get 27 minutes to 80%. If you find a 100 kilowatt charger. If you're charging at home, it's 7.4 kilowatts, but I believe you can option it with 11 kilowatt charging, I think. So what do I think about this car? I don't think it's very good. And I think you've probably guessed that from this review. I think if you get this car, and I don't want to, I don't want to question your decision if you bought this car and you're watching this. I'm sorry to be ripping the car to shreds like this. It's possible that you're enjoying it, and I've just had a bad experience with it because of better experiences with previous cars. But what I would say is, for the money, I would get almost anything else. I think you've got, for less money, you can get a Volkswagen ID3, which is probably much better than this. Certainly goes further on the battery. A little bit more money gets you a Kia e-Niro, which I still don't think can really be beaten for what you get for the money, given you do get a massive usable range of about 280 miles with the e-Niro. Yeah, so I just can't really recommend this car very much. I suppose it's fine. There we go. That's the review, isn't it? It's perfectly fine. Except it's not. It's not perfectly fine. I don't like it. I'm not going to lie. I don't like this car at all. I don't like it. It's not a good EV, and it's not, I would say, not a very good car because of the visibility issues with it. So, but if you're shopping for a car, just try it. Please try it first. It might be that you like it. And if you do like it, then let me know in the comments. Please press the subscribe button, press the bell icon to be notified of other videos. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. Bye for now. Off we're going in the DS3 Crossback E-Tense for the final. I know it's like a joke.
Stupid name for a stupid car.
There we go. That sums it up, doesn't it?